Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. And gentlemen, please remove your caps as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance and honor America with the playing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Good evening, and what a beautiful evening it is for a celebration. Welcome to our Yough Senior High School Class of 2020 commencement ceremony. Although we all faced unwelcome, unbelievable, and unprecedented challenges due to the coronavirus pandemic, tonight's ceremony represents optimism and hope in so many ways. Optimism that someday, hopefully soon, our lives will be back to normal and that your time and your future will be filled with happiness, good fortune, and good health. Hope in that you will look back on your years at Yough Senior High School and use the lessons learned from your parents, coaches, family members, and teachers so that you can face the challenges that lie ahead in your adult life. In just a few moments, the class of 2020, the 50th Yough School District graduation class, will walk across this stage. The diplomas you received represent years of hard work, perseverance, and achievement, and will mark a turning point in your lives. As your principal, I am confident that you are well prepared and equipped to enter the next phase of your life, one filled with hope and optimism. In closing, seniors, despite the unforeseen circumstances this virus placed on your senior year, I thank you for an excellent year. Thank you for setting an example for the underclassmen. Thank you for your kindness. And good luck. We are all proud of you. Now it is my pleasure to call upon the salutatorian for the class of 2020, Sarah Catherine Kropchak, to give the welcoming address.
Thank you, Mr. Sutherland. I'd like to welcome everyone to this very unconventional graduation ceremony for the Yough class of 2020. I want to thank everybody watching this ceremony from home, being live streamed, and for everybody being here in person. Thank you to the families, friends, teachers, and staff for all of your support over the years. Time has flown by, and I can't believe we're graduating again. I'm sorry we have to have this under these circumstances with no audience, but it's certainly better than what could have been. Um, our senior year may have been cut short, and many of us feel cheated out of a true senior experience. The truth is, when we look back on our time in high school, all of the happy memories we've made in the 12 and a half years that we did get to spend together will outweigh this one tough time that we're experiencing right now. When I look back at our time as students at Yough, there are too many great memories to talk about them all, but there are certainly some that stand out above the rest. I remember elementary school, when the toughest assignment we had was our 10 spelling words. I remember looking forward to field day for weeks because we couldn't wait to spend the whole day outside. Then we had our 4th grade celebration, and suddenly, all together now, we were thrown into middle school. We had an opportunity there to meet new people and make new friends. We were so excited to finally have lockers. There were even slushies at lunch. Later on, we took our first shop class, where some of us built our Adirondack chairs, and where the rest of us watched as others built them for us. And just like that, we were freshmen. We learned the hard way what side of the hall to walk on. We went to our first football game, our first homecoming dance, had our first sports season, had our first band camp. We began to discover who we really were. In the blink of an eye, we were juniors, and we could finally drive to school. We had our first prom, took our first AP classes, submitted our first college applications, and got our first jobs. We were slowly but surely becoming adults. It seems like just yesterday that we started our senior year. And instead of celebrating all of our firsts, now we're celebrating all of our lasts. Our last first day, our last homecoming, our last sports season, and also our last graduation. When we were little kindergartners so long ago, we never thought we'd get to this point, but now we're here. Of course, this evening, again, is not exactly what everybody expected, but we're all together. We're all here today because we're finally graduating from high school, like we've been dreaming about our whole lives. The focus of my speech is meant to be about the memories we've made along the way, but truthfully, the craziest memories we'll probably ever make are being made right now. If you would have told me 5 months ago that we'd be in the middle of a national pandemic and we'd be graduating for the second time, socially distanced, with no audience, I would have said you're crazy. Circumstances may not be how we've always dreamed of graduating, but it is what we have, so I urge you to make the most of it. Life throws a lot of curveballs, but there's a lot we can learn from this entire situation. Later on, down the line, when we're all grown, the class of 2020 is going to have such a great graduation story to tell our kids. As I've said before, our experiences growing up at Yough have made us who we are today. Recent experiences included. As a result, we're going to graduate from this school district as one of the strongest and most resilient classes ever. I wish everyone well in wherever life takes you, and I'm so proud to be a part of this graduating class. Now I would like to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2020 and one of my closest friends, Grace Lukart.
Thank you, Sarah, aka my best friend, Noodle. Class of 2020, the day we can all gather together has finally come. A few months ago, I'd given up all hope of being able to graduate with all of you on Cougar Mountain. Not only did we get to have an awesome online ceremony, but we're also lucky enough to get the in-person ceremony that we've always dreamed of. The class of 2020 is legendary, not only because we're having a midsummer live stream graduation, but because a pandemic completely changed our senior experience. For our entire high school careers, we look forward to the last few months of our senior year. We watched the previous 3 graduating classes experience their senior prom, walk through the halls in their caps and gowns, and make their last memories with their childhood friends. It was finally our time when things suddenly took a turn for the worse. Our time at Yough was cut short, right before all the fun was set to begin. At first, I was devastated, as I'm sure all of you were as well. But then I realized that companies started giving free stuff to seniors, like a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts. If you did that, they were awesome. And all of a sudden, the heartbreak of missing out on graduation seemed to fade away. But in all seriousness, as time went on, I realized that the class of 2020 was actually being presented with a unique learning experience. We learned to adapt, and quickly. Things went from being completely normal to being totally shut down in the matter of 1 week. School, sports, work, trips, events, everything was canceled in the blink of an eye. We went from spending long hours at school, followed by extracurriculars, to doing absolutely nothing. The world was at a standstill, and we had to accept it. A few weeks later, we were presented with the challenge of online learning, and many of us swiftly adapted to this change. Very soon, we're all going to be going through more huge changes. After all, we're headed into the real world now, and it will probably be scary. Luckily, thanks to what we've been through during the end of our time here at Yough, it should be easier for us to adapt to whatever new environments we face in the future. No other graduating class has had a trial run at adapting like we have. The future is always a bit uncertain, and this is especially true for our graduating class. Everyone's plans for the fall are still subject to change at any moment. But this is still such an exciting time in our lives. We finally get to do things on our own in the real world. We cannot let the uncertainty downplay all of our hard work and accomplishments that have led us here today. We have grown so much over the past 4 years, and especially the past 4 months, and I am so proud of us. The future is a bright place, despite any and all of the recent events and trials, and I hope everyone is planning to pursue something that they are passionate about. If you can dream it, you can do it. It was a challenge finding the right words to say in this speech. As much as I would love to avoid talking about the current state of our world, it is important to recognize that there is a bright side of the situation. It is easy to only dwell on the events that we have missed and think no good can come out of this situation. But that is false. There is so much hidden positivity in it all. I truly believe that the class of 2020 will be stronger because of all we've been through. We were faced with an abrupt change to all of our plans, but we worked through it. We adapted. We became more aware of the little things that mean the most in life, and through it all, our futures still remain as bright as they would have otherwise. The class of 2020 will be remembered by most as the class that was quarantined. I'm sure many of you have a t-shirt that says that. I sure do. But what is important is how we remember each other. We remember how we met our best friends, how we watched each other grow from awkward freshmen into successful young adults, and how precious these past 13 years truly have been. It has been a wild ride, that is for sure, but I hope everyone has learned something from the challenges we have faced and know that we are stronger because of them. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Sarden.
Good evening. Today is an emotional and exciting day for parents, relatives, friends, and yourselves. More so this year as compared to previous graduations due to the strange circumstances of which we are currently living. Over the last few months, many of you have lived in the uncertainty of how your senior year will end, the uncertainty of what it is coming next, but have managed to survive till this moment. I truly believe the uniqueness of this situation will be long remembered by you, your family, and in the history books as the class of 2020 graduated during one of the most unprecedented times in modern history. As the superintendent of schools, I am honored to be here this evening to congratulate the Yough High School class of 2020 on their accomplishments. Your accomplishments are many, and as a school district, we are extremely proud of all you have done and all you will do as our future generation of citizens. On behalf of the Yough School Board and Administration, I would like to wish you the best this world has to offer and much success as you leave here. It is days like these that make me proud to be a superintendent and educator, because I am confident that our students will continue to make Yough proud. I want to highlight a few of the accomplishments of the class of 2020. 35.5% will be attending colleges and universities. 23% will be attending two-year universities. 5% will be entering the military. 27% will enter the workforce. We have a number of students who have been inducted to different National Honor Societies. 46 were inducted into our National Honor Society, 4 inducted into our National Technical Honor Society, 13 of our senior class were members of the National Art Society, and 6 were members of the National French Honor Society. We have students that will be attending schools such as Seton Hill University, Penn State University, the University of Pittsburgh, West Virginia University, St. Vincent, California University of Pennsylvania, Washington and Jefferson, IUP, and the list continues. The class of 2020 is destined for great things, and we are hopeful those things don't always involve social distancing and masks, but instead integrity, understanding, patience, and determination. Throughout your senior year, there have been many accomplishments. 4 students were recognized as Outstanding Senior Students Awards within their program at the Central Westmoreland Career and Technical Center. Toys have been sent to those less fortunate, both within our area as well as around the world. We have given blood to help save other people's lives. A number of our seniors have mentored our freshman students to help them during a difficult transition year into high school. Mr. Rogers, an iconic person from our area, once said, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." Real strength has to do with helping others. Our class of 2020 has worked together and come up with ideas to make the graduating class a memorable one. Between rallying around adopting each other, door decorating at home and displaying our accomplishments, creation of a video tribute in recognition of great things done, working within the community to keep Tractor Day and other traditions alive, even if they look a little bit different. Purchasing yard signs to recognize each and every graduate. Being an ear to listen, a heart to hear, and a voice of reason when frustration has been inevitable. I am so proud of the challenges everyone has faced head on. So proud of the patience and understanding of the class of 2020 and the parents and guardians in the face of adversity. As you move on to the many great things you will do, the lessons learned in the last 12 weeks will undoubtedly make a difference in who you are, what you do, and where you go. I do believe that we have prepared you well here at Yough to take on that challenge, not only this year, but during the rest of your time in the district. I want to take this opportunity to thank the most important people in the students' lives, their parents and guardians. Your continuous support, coupled with the students' hard work, has led us to this ceremony today. Because at the end of the day, as parents and guardians, you were your child's first teacher, and you have allowed us to enhance that teaching for the last 13 years, and for that we thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Sutherland and Mr. Wilkins for their efforts in creating a positive environment for our students to flourish. So now, the time has come. As the superintendent of the Yough School District, and by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I officially accept this, the graduating class of 2020 from the Yough Senior High School, and ask that we begin the calling of the roll and the presentation of diplomas. Mr. Sutherland.
Thank you, Dr. Sarden. In 1997, Arlene Fry Sirac, a lifelong resident of Hutchinson in Hermione, passed away. In her lifetime, Mrs. Sirac was a secretary for Dr. Andrew Cern and the Greensburg Medical Associates. In her will, she provided $62,000 of her estate to be allotted to the Yough School District for the purposes of scholarship awards to the class valedictorian and salutatorian of the current graduating class. This year's recipient of the valedictorian award is Grace Elizabeth Lucart, and this year's recipient of the salutatorian award is Sarah Catherine Krofchek. Could you please come to the stage and receive your award? Ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me great pleasure to initiate the calling of the roll. Unfortunately, not all of your classmates could be here with us this evening. Please allow me to announce them so that they may be included in our celebration. Draven T. Aaron, Kara R. Barner, Brady Bonzel, Amber Elizabeth Byros, Hattie Marie Boucher, Nicholas Boyer, Jarek Carilli, Morgan May Carpenter, Brandon Christopher Childers, Hannah Nicole Christner, Haley Ann Cook, Danielle Diamici, Erica Dix, Jason Douglas, Jonathan Dumond, Emma Marie Duncan, Samantha Page Duncan, Hunter Dane Hunter Dyson, Chase Robert Fagan, Sarah Elizabeth Feckety, Mary Ann Gravely, Javen Gunther, Amanda Ray Heyman, Clint J. Hansen, Hunter D. Heasley, Rebecca Awin Helsel, Emily Henderson, Jacob Matthew Huber, Aiden M. Hutchinson, Angelina G. Jarman, Bryce Allen Jones, Caden A. Castronis, Noah Kent, Mitchell William LeBrier, John Gino Lorenzi, Abigail Lautner, Caleb Jonathan Lucas, Sophia Moroni, Mark Martini, Dominic Macero, Alicia S. Maughan, Anthony McFarland, William Joseph McMillan, Chase Maxwell McNaney, Tyler Ray Morris, Brianna Rose Morton, Joel S. Nemec, Anson R. Knoll, Caitlin M. Novacek, Dominic Ovchinik, Joseph Dominic Pecora, Justin J. Procasina, Jacob James Radford, Mark Allen Robinson, Nicholas William Sandin, Jarrett E. Sanner, Joshua Sanner, Skylar M. Sanner, Ariel Naylin Sarsfield, Gabriella A. Scherf, Nathan Schaefer, Shelby Ray Sherbondi, Dylan Riley Sleesman, Megan Sleeth, Allie Rose Squires, Daniel T. Stevenson, Emily Verlaine Marie Stewart, Carly Renee Stow, Amina Lee Sollenberger, Allison Elizabeth Swager, Alexandra Nicole Swatek, Katharina Brooke Thompson, Angel Renee Todd, Samantha Angel Trice, Harley Underwood, Annalie Wagaman, Courtly Lynn Weaver, Emily Ann Yedlick, Ashley Nicole Zawacki. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, it is the moment you've all been waiting for. The official roll call for the class of 2020. Scott, can you please rise and lead your row? A reminder to all graduates, you'll get your picture taken once you enter the archway on this side of the stage. Scott A. Alshouse, Jr. Gianna K. Apollonia. Justine Marie Apollonia. Peyton Michael Ajay. Aubrey Louise Baca. Jeremy Daniel Bednar. Michael Albert Bell. Second row, if you'd like to stand, please, and make your way over. Second row. Good. Timothy Joe Barrich. Natalie Rose Beege. Sarah Janetta Bontrager. Corinne Chanel Bowers. Alexis Renee Boyle. Audrey Marie Burge. Brandon Lee Bush. Keelan Butler. Alexa Suzanne Cipra. Haley Joe Clark. Aiden Michael Cochran. Abigail Sue Cox. Dylan S. Craig. Robert C. Davis. Cole Richard Doran. Hunter Aaron Dumsick. Haley M. Herrera. Taylor Rose Eats. Jake Andrew Philippos. Brandon Force. Rebecca Ann Gabadlo. Michaela Ann Gesmond. Logan Donald Gobleski. Jordan Taylor Granny. Brianna Joe Gray. Daniel L. Greck. Hunter Reed Grimes. Anthony Greiser. Raymond Joseph Halaharich. Sarah Rose Harvey. Brandon Hayden. Jordan Lee Hayden. Sydney Nicole Hemus. Nicholas J. Hoffer. Tyler Matthew Johns. Brooke Isabella Jones. Nathaniel T. Jones. Chase E. Keibel. Haley R. King. Julie Ann Nepper. Autumn Noel Collins. Sarah Catherine Krofchek. Marissa D. Lawfer. Luke Paul Little. Grace Elizabeth Lukart. Dylan M. Lynn. Victoria L. McGill. Austin Chad Makusenka. Stephen Anthony Mannon. Dominic Allen Mara. Ian Gabriel McAllister. Carter C. McCurdy. Sarah Elizabeth Mears. Bailey Middlecoff. Robert Mahalchek III. Julia Grace Milkoff. Sydney L. Murray. Megan Rose Myers. Lillian Rayanne Nazer. Joshua Obradovich. Veronica O'Neill. Renee Lynn Patricio. Cameron P. Pritz. Russell Joseph Pitlack. Kayla Renee Roush. Lee Edward Ritzer. Ashlyn Rose Roll. Alyssa Joe Rothy. Crystal L. Schweinberg. Hadley Renee Sleeth. Lauren Smith. Tristan D. Snyder. Drake Leviathan Spear. Carly Raylyn Spooty. Shayna Sue Stantz. Elijah Stevens. Mary Elizabeth Swope. John Takach. Tierra Page Trice. Cody Ryan Eulander. Reno Michael Eustaszewski. Jacob Rousseau Wardazak. Courtney Weaver. Nathaniel William Wilkins. Audrey Williams. Paul Christian Martin Williams, Jr. Aaron Charles Wilson. Alexis Renee Yough. Abigail Elizabeth Zarobski. Mary T. Zipfel. While we're waiting, give yourselves a round of applause. Parents, guardians, and family members at home, you as well. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage to give the closing remarks the president of the class of 2020, Taylor Rose Eats.
Thank you, Mr. Sutherland. Good evening, and I would like to thank everyone who made tonight possible that all of us would be to graduate as a whole. We were brought into this world around the events of 9/11, and we are now entering a new stage of our lives during a global pandemic. Since the beginning of our lives, we have always made history, and I'm sure we will continue to make the difference. Because of this historical connection, we have been there for each other since the beginning. We have made the difference in one another's lives, and I know that we can make an even bigger impact the world needs. Keep standing for what you believe in, let your voices be heard, and be the change. Be the wonderful class we always have been. A new chapter in our lives has already started, and regardless of the curveballs life may have thrown of us, keep showing the world how truly special we all are. We are the hope the world needs in this difficult time, so please continue to be the positive influence. Our attitudes and actions will shape the future. For those entering the military, thank you for your service. For those of you entering college, always study hard. For those of you entering the workforce, always do your best. And for those of you who are still undecided, remember that God has a plan for you as well. Do not let anything deter you from achieving your dreams. I am ecstatic to say that I have gotten to see you all once again. And now, my fellow graduates, let us put an end to the Yough Senior High School chapter of our lives and finally move on in our journey. At this time, please use your tassels from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Yough's graduating class of 2020. Yeah, it came off.
Thank you, Taylor.